do on a daily basis, the sacrifice you make, the commitment, the selfless service. And, your life is so connected to what we achieve in the family of humanity. And sometimes you're not given the credit, or you're not given the type of appreciation that you do not deserve, but you earn. You earn this. This is your work, your hard work, your sacrifice, and your commitment. And today, from every corner of Guyana, I want you, the men and women in uniform here and all across Guyana and the world, who are part of creating a peaceful environment and creating situations where humanity can grow and can develop. I want to say to you a big thank you for your service from us here in Guyana. Now, I want to say, before I go into any, prepared aspect of what I want to tell you today. Of course, we have a great representative of the U.S. here in your ambassador, who has been doing an enormous job in expanding the relationship, building trust, and creating opportunities for the U.S. here in Guyana. But I want maybe those who are listening to me, even outside the shores of Guyana, to understand one fact. The U.S. Army Medical Department was established in 1775, July 27th, 1775. And why was it established? It was established from battlefield service to become a global leader in humanitarian assistance. Very little is spoken of the U.S. military humanitarian support around the world. And today I want to recognize the humanitarian support of the U.S. military across the world and here in Guyana. A history from 1775. And you are indeed the global leader in humanitarian assistance and support. And I think much more should be written and spoken about what you do on the global stage. And if you look at post-1950, and you look at the modern humanitarian efforts of the U.S. Army, they launched a specific blood program. They launched a specific disaster relief program, a global health engagement program, a program for specialized services, as we have benefited here in Guyana. More than 29 Guyanese now being able to regain their sight. That is extraordinary, and I'll come back to that a few moments from now. Training, technology transfer. In this world where medical science is moving at such a rapid pace, your systems have evolved to ensure that training, technology transfer, skills development, capacity building are all part of the work that you do. And Southcom would have donated a field hospital worth about $1 million US to the Guyana Defense Force. So I'll tell you, the next time you come, we're going to establish that field hospital with all of the services inside in Essequibo. And there's a reason why we want you to go to Essequibo, to show the people of Essequibo how much you love them and how much you love Guyana and Essequibo here in Guyana. So we're going to set up that field hospital in Essequibo, and we're going to set up a program in Region 9. These are two regions that I think I really want you to go to and to help the people there and to work with our enormous local team. And let me say how very proud I am of our local team, our local professionals in the healthcare system who have worked along with you. And as I'm on that, we are now doing some amazing work using local talent and local IT skills in the development of our materials management unit. And we need support in logistics building and training, and having maybe 2 or 3 persons who are specialists in logistics, in getting it right and supporting the work that we are doing. If we can have that support, then that will be great for us as we continue to strengthen and build out this local supply chain management system that will be second to none across this region and across the globe. And you know, earlier when our ambassador spoke about persons regaining sight, I sought to have some education on the biblical significance of regaining sight, you know. Many times, from a biblical perspective, there are also some important concepts when you restore sight, you know. It's not only about the physical healing. Restoration of sight is about spiritual awakening. It's about breaking into God's kingdom. And it's part of fulfillment of the messianic prophecy. So if you are spiritual in nature, this helping persons to regain their sight has deep and steep biblical affiliation and meaning also. So this team, from a spiritual perspective, is also fulfilling their mandate and duty. So we are very, very grateful for the work that you continue to do. We will be sharing with you also before you leave. Now you have to stay here and finish all that they prepare for you. I don't know about this water thing that is going on here. And we will be sharing with you an opportunity to take some soothing liquids out of Guyana. And you have 30 of your colleagues who left. I'm so sorry that they were not able to join us, but please, I want them to know that we love them, we thank them sincerely, and we are very grateful for the work they would have done also. So it is always good to begin with the words, thank you. And therefore I say on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you to all of you for this mission to Guyana. The work of LAMAT is an example of the kind of partnership and the kind of world we must continue to build together. Over the past few days, your work has moved beyond hospitals, health centers, clinics, and consultation rooms, and into the lives of our people, and that is important. Your work has moved into the lives of our people. And passing as your mission has been, it has served to strengthen our healthcare system and to provide care to so many in our society. On this note, I want to recognize and acknowledge the support of the University of Miami and to say to them that we will be working with you to expand this collaboration and to see maybe how we can finance and support some specialized training at the University of Miami and integrate that into our healthcare system. Too often when we speak of security, our minds turn immediately to images of borders, defense forces, and battlefield operations. We speak about protecting territory, safeguarding sovereignty, and responding to external threats. And we speak about operational training. These are, of course, critical elements of national security. But your mission has reminded us clearly and powerfully that security must also be understood in human terms. And it is equally grounded in the everyday realities of people's lives and well-being. A nation cannot be truly secure if its people are unwell, underserved, or uncertain about their access to care. A society cannot be resilient if illness undermines productivity, strains families, and weakens communities. In this sense, healthcare is not separate from security. It is one of its most fundamental pillars. Your work has demonstrated how strengthening health system is an investment in human well-being, while at the same time enhancing national security. The interventions you have carried out during your short stay, the consultations you have provided, and the expertise you have shared are most welcome in ways that my words may not fully capture. The human heart always cannot put into words what it feels. Each patient you have treated represents more than a clinical success. It represents an act of healing and care, and in many respects, a life made more secure, a more positive citizen, a more productive citizen, a more productive family member, and someone who now enjoys a better quality of life. You refer earlier to mental health. Mental health is an enormous crisis we face in this region and here in Guyana. And I am so happy to know that you have invested so much of your resources and talent in addressing mental health issues and challenges. I hope through the University of Miami and the work we are doing now, and also, of course, with LAMAT, we can refine our mental health program and maybe integrate it into a platform that LAMAT utilize to have tele-support, online support of mental health and persons suffering from mental health issues. So that is something I'm very, very happy about, and I'm very, very pleased that you are able to address that. The other challenge that I think you have addressed a lot in your own careers is talking to young people in schools about gang and the impact of gangs. And if in the next mission we can have some persons who we can deploy with the Ministry of Education to have some sessions with our children in school and with our educators and our teachers in training them as to how to identify, how to deal with, especially in a situation in Guyana where more and more our teachers are all females. In some schools we have 100% female teachers. And most schools we have maybe more than 80% of our teachers are females. So that, of course, is a challenge sometimes dealing with male students who can be aggressive. So I think finding a way in which we can learn from you and we can have your expertise in this area is something we should examine definitely as we move towards the future. I also, before I move on, want to acknowledge the presence of Major Austin. Of course, you find the Guyanese on all of these missions, and Major Austin is from Kanji. I hope that she was able to take some of our friends to Kanji and to give them some nice cuisine out of Kanji. Kanji has some very specific cuisine and some very specific challenges also. The interventions you have carried out during your short stay, the consultations you have provided, and the expertise you have shared are most welcome. You leave behind persons who will forever remember the assistance you provided. In my experience, one thing that people never forget, and for which they're eternally grateful, are the doctors and medical personnel who provide care to them. They may not always get the opportunity to say it, but they are thankful from the bottom of their hearts. And so on behalf of them, I say thank you. And I can tell you, many times when I go into the fields, people would come to me and say, you know, I benefited from this. The US military, the Army guys, they helped me with this. And as Frank was speaking about Leg 1 and your visit to Leg 1, the first time I encountered the US medical team was in Leg 1. I was about 7 years old. And you had a 3-week exercise in Leg 1 Secondary School where they established a base camp and they served the people there for 3 days. Sorry, not 3 weeks, 3 days. So I remember that as a 7-year-old child. So knowing that you went back to Leg 1 shows a very important characteristic of the American system. You don't forget your friends. You don't ever forget your friends. And of course, we here, we do not forget our friends. And the United States is an extraordinary friend of Guyana. I'm sure also that the local medical personnel that work with you would have also come away with experiences that they will remember and value for the rest of their lives. The LAMAT 2026 was a mission to Guyana, but it also is a mission with Guyana. To characterize this mission as a one-sided gesture would be to misunderstand its true nature and diminish its significance. What we have witnessed is partnership, genuine, purposeful, and rooted in mutual respect and values. This mission reflects the enduring relationship between Guyana and the United States. This is a relationship that continues to evolve and deepen across multiple areas of cooperation. It is a relationship defined not only by shared interests, but also by mutual respect and values. This is a relationship that continues to evolve and deepen across multiple areas of cooperation. It is a relationship defined not only by shared interests, but also by mutual respect and values. It is a relationship that continues to evolve and deepen across multiple areas of cooperation. It is a relationship defined not only by shared interests, but by shared values, values that place human dignity, opportunity, and well-being at the center of our engagement. Partnership is not measured by what one side gives and the other side receives. It is measured by what we build together. And through this mission, we have built something meaningful, something that strengthens both our countries and reinforces the bonds that connect us. In international relations, trust is often spoken about, but not always easily achieved. It cannot be created through words alone. It cannot be sustained by intention without action. Trust is built gradually through consistent engagement, shared experiences, and demonstrated commitment. Your mission has contributed significantly to that process. By working alongside our local healthcare professionals and by delivering care with professionalism and compassion, you have strengthened the foundation of trust between our nations. You have shown that cooperation takes shape in everyday interactions between people who are committed to a common purpose. So your work here is also an important part of building trust, international relations, and diplomacy. Guyana is part of a wider Caribbean community. Together, Guyana and the Caribbean share both opportunities and challenges, from public health threats to natural disasters. The issues we face do not recognize national borders, and as such, our responses cannot be confined within them. In this context, your mission takes an even greater significance. By contributing to the strengthening of Guyana's healthcare capacity, you are also contributing to improving the resilience of our region. You are helping to build systems that are better equipped to respond to crisis, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to support the well-being of our people across national boundaries. This is the essence of regional cooperation, working together, not only for individual benefit, but for collective strength. And I want to recognize the leadership of the CDC here in Guyana, the Civil Defense Commission. I know retired Colonel Nazrul, I saw him somewhere here, his entire team. Because of your investment in us and your partnership and support in us, we are now positioned as a leading response team in this region. And over the last couple of years, we have led from the front, most times, as the first responder in natural disaster across this region. And that, a lot of that is because of the capacity building and strengthening as a result of this partnership. So I want to thank our local guys for really keeping the golden arrowhead flying high. Our Guyana Defense Force, the men and women in uniform in the Guyana Defense Force, enormous work in getting out there and being part of this team. Just like we have 70 men and women in uniform here, we have how many in Jamaica? 52 of our men and women in Jamaica in uniform, building more than 200 roofs and homes back for the people of Jamaica. We did that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We did that in Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Jamaica. We did that in Haiti, and we have responded to many other smaller disasters across the region. And we want to say that we are part of this type of family orientation, and you are an important part of that. I also acknowledge on behalf of Jamaica, the U.S. Army response to the hurricane there. It was among the first response from the international community. It was strong, it was steady, and it delivered tremendous good to the Jamaican people. Now, while the immediate outcome of your work are clear and commendable, the true impact of this mission lies in what it leaves behind. Beyond the medical interventions, there is a legacy of knowledge, collaboration, and strengthened capacity that will continue to benefit Guyana long after your departure. Through your engagement with our local professionals, you have facilitated the exchange of skills and ideas that will enhance the quality of care within our system. You have introduced new perspectives, reinforced best practices, and inspired confidence among those who will carry this work forward. In doing so, you have ensured that the value of this mission extends far beyond its duration, creating a lasting contribution to our national development. You have demonstrated also what true honor, dignity, and pride is for persons in uniform, and we thank you for demonstrating that so effectively. And this brings me back to where I started. Amidst discussion of systems, partnerships, and regional frameworks, we must never lose sight of human stories that define the true impact of your work. Behind every patient seen and attended to is an individual who sought care. Behind every intervention is a life that has been improved and in many cases transformed. There is somewhere in this country a parent who now feels a sense of relief because their child has received attention and care. There is a patient who now faces the future with greater confidence because of the care you have provided. There is a family whose burden has been eased, whose uncertainty has been reduced, and whose hope has been renewed. These are the outcomes that matter most. These are the moments that give meaning to your service. And these are the reasons why your presence here has made such a profound difference. But these moments, powerful as they are, do not stand alone. They point to something larger. They reflect a way of working, a spirit of engagement, and a standard of partnership that reaches far beyond this mission and beyond the field of healthcare itself. What you have demonstrated through this mission is a model of cooperation that extends beyond healthcare. It is one that speaks to a broader vision of international engagement. It is a model focused on tangible outcomes that improve lives. In a world where challenges are increasingly interconnected, this approach is essential. It reminds us that the most effective solutions are those that bring people together, that leverage shared experience and expertise, and that prioritize the well-being of citizens. It is a model that we must continue to embrace and expand, both within our region and beyond. It also represents a vital and often overlooked dimension of security cooperation, one that is expressed not through force or strategy, but through care. This is security at its most personal level. The reassurance given to a patient, the dignity preserved in treatment, and the trust built between people. It shows the cooperation between nations is not only about protecting borders, but about protecting lives, and the true partnership is measured not only in shared interests, but in shared humanity. And as I end where I began, with appreciation and gratitude, on behalf of the government and people of Guyana, I extend to each of you our deepest and most heartfelt appreciation, and by extension, your families, who also sacrifice to allow you to serve, who also sacrifice to give up of their time with you to be with humanity all across this world. Please, let us applaud the families of all our men and women in uniform. I extend to you and your families our deepest and most heartfelt appreciation. You came as partners, you served with excellence, and you're leaving having strengthened not only our healthcare system, but the bonds that unite our nations. I look forward to LAMAT becoming an annual event, and whatever we can do to support this being an annual event, you can count on us to make those adjustments to allow this to be an annual event. We want to build and institutionalize LAMAT as part of our structural system of partnership and cooperation. I want to let all of you know that you will always be welcome in Guyana, whether on a mission or back here with your families. I ask the Chief of Defense Staff to take a careful note of the names of all those who come to serve in uniform here. And whenever you visit Guyana, we must ensure that you and your families experience the love and care that you have given in your time of service. May this mission stand not as a conclusion, but as a continuation, a foundation upon which we will build even greater cooperation in the years ahead. As Commander-in-Chief, I know I speak on behalf of the leadership of the Guyana Defense Force too, when I say that all of you all of you, have honorary membership in our Guyana Defense Force Staff Club at Guyana. So before you leave, you'll have the appropriate document that gives you honorary membership to that club. God bless all of you and thank you for your service.
His Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. Brigadier Omar Khan, Ambassador Tiro, Brigadier General Swanson, Mr. Torres, the rest of the LAMAT team, the team from the Ministry of Health, some of our partners, including Mount Sinai, Dr. Carpen, the advisor to the President on Health Matters, and all of you who are here this afternoon. We're indeed very pleased that we were able to host LAMAT for the third time here in Guyana. And it looks like every time we host the mission here that we are doing something new. And this time around, I think we have been able to expand the places that we've been operating in. So we were able to go to the Georgetown Public Hospital. And as you heard at the hospital, some fantastic surgeries were done in ophthalmology. And among that, I think we have achieved some firsts as well. But what was more important when we were discussing this mission was how can we go out into some of the other areas. And I was very pleased that when we were in the preparatory phase, that we were able to agree that we'll go to Region 3. And we have a team from Region 3, the local team, but they were able to work with the LAMAT team to do surgeries in Region 3. And Mr. President, you'll be very pleased to note that they also went on an outreach to Leg 1 and Wakenham. Yes, so, and then we of course extended it to the Diamond Regional Hospital, and we also went to Linden. And it shows that we're expanding the scope of the work that we're able to do here. But this time around, we also added the dental component. And so at the Chadijagan Dental School, the team was able to do a number of procedures at the dental school. We have started a preliminary discussion on what we should do next. And hopefully we'll be able to go even further and do other things that we haven't done as yet. We think that while you're here, it is also a good training ground for tropical medicine. And going out into some of the interior locations, you might be able to see some of the diseases that you don't often encounter. And I think that would also be a good learning experience. So we can learn from each other by these types of exchanges. This year as well, I think the additional component to this year's mission was the addition of the University of Miami. And as was said before, we were catering for 60 persons, but much more showed up, and we had, the training done. This is complementing the work that we're doing in mass casualty. And it's also going to enhance some work that we have planned during the year, because the country itself, under the leadership of the President, we are launching new emergency medical services. And so in another couple of months, we'll be launching that. And so some of the training that would have been received would be very good for the people who would be working in this service. We have also looked at, in some discussions with the team from the University of Miami, other ways of collaborating. And they have demonstrated to the team at the ministry their systems of doing telemedicine and how the telemedicine systems can be applied when you have disasters. So you don't have to do much. You go in and it's almost everything is ready, and you can then be able to triage patients. You have an electronic health record system. And if we don't have the capability in-house, meaning in country, that their center up in Miami can be used both as expert references and to be able to help us to do that coordination. So I think that's really big value that has been added and showing us how this system works. And with further discussion, I think we'll be able to complement what we do in telemedicine with some of the work that has already been done by the University of Miami. So I think, you know, when we look all around, this has been an extremely successful mission. And as Ambassador said, there are many areas of partnerships that we have with the U.S. and U.S. institutions. And over the years in health, we have been very lucky with this strong partnerships that would have been developed over the years. We had partnerships that helped us to overcome HIV in the early days. And when we didn't have, ARVs, because in the early days of the epidemic, ARVs was a very scarce thing. And I remember having some discussions with the U.S. team that got us our first pediatric ARVs. And so that's how we started treating some of our babies. And we further down the road, we were able to develop our National Public Health Reference Lab, which today serves as our reference lab. It's still there after 20-something years and still doing a lot of good work. And then more recent times, we've had the good fortune of working very closely with the U.S. in terms of COVID-19. We received lots of Pfizer vaccines, we received Moderna vaccines, and it looked like every other week I was going up to the airport with Ambassador to collect vaccines. But it shows the strength of the partnership. And to use the Pfizer vaccines, one of the big challenges was that we didn't have the refrigerators. And the US government was kind enough to give us the first set of -80 refrigerators so that we can put these vaccines to use. In some of our rural hospitals, it was also a challenge to get oxygen and generating oxygen. And so we were able to get some oxygen plants, which we have now put at Letem and Mabaruma and some of the interior locations. And now we don't have to buy oxygen from Georgetown to take it up. We are able to generate the oxygen on site. So these types of partnerships really help to build capacity. In the past, we got a lot of equipment and so forth, but this is now helping us to build capacity with our human resource. And as was said, that once you do that, the persons here are going to utilize the newly learned skills to serve our population. So I want to join in thanking all the members of the LAMAT team that worked with us over the last 2 weeks. I think getting feedback from the staff of the Ministry of Health, they were all extremely excited, and they were all very happy to work along with the team. And I think they're looking forward to the next mission and how we can, do this all over again, but in many other parts of Guyana. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Your Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony, Minister of Health, Permanent Secretary Malcolm Watkins, who I believe is around here somewhere, Brigadier Omar Khan, Brigadier General Dr. Lee Swanson, Air Mobility Command Surgeon General, Colonel Brian Gavitt, Air Force's Southern Surgeon General, Colonel Alfredo Leboy, Air Force's Southern Liaison to Southcom, Colonel Theodore Lazeski, LAMAT Guyana Mission Commander, Mr. Vince Torres, University of Miami, distinguished MOH officials, GDF members, LAMAT professionals, University of Miami representatives, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am so honored to join you today to mark the conclusion of the 2026 mission of the U.S. Southern Command's Lesser Antilles Medical Assistance Team, or LAMAT. This marks LAMAT's third visit to Guyana, as you've heard, following successful engagements in 2023 and 2025. We are so incredibly grateful for the outstanding work the team has done, and we really look forward to welcoming you back next year. LAMAT's 2026 mission collaborated with and supported medical professionals in Guyana, Suriname, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, is that it? Yes, and St. Kitts and Nevis, to provide medical and dental care to patients in need. This year, 76 U.S. Air Force and Army medical professionals worked alongside their dedicated local counterparts, without whom this mission would not be possible. Through strategic medical diplomacy across the region, Southcom demonstrates commitment to our enduring partnership. These engagements are designed to enhance the institutional capacity of our partners, their medical infrastructure, and to foster seamless collaboration between our medical communities. Initiatives like LAMAT exemplify the steadfast U.S. commitment to the people of Guyana and the region. We are a dedicated partner in supporting Guyana's continued growth and development, recognizing that health security is a fundamental cornerstone to both national security and regional stability. By working together to augment our medical readiness and disaster response, we strengthen our collaborative capacity to build a more secure future for all of our citizens. In Guyana, in very close partnership with the Ministry of Health and medical professionals across the country, LAMAT has significantly expanded access to specialized and advanced medical, surgical, ophthalmological, dental, and emergency care. Together, we reach patients at 5 regional centers that were named earlier by our Master of Ceremonies. The impact of this mission is so much more than statistics, though. It is measured in transformed lives and newfound hope. Our ophthalmology teams achieved remarkable outcomes, successfully repairing 29 complex retinal detachments, a condition that would have otherwise left patients in permanent darkness. 17 of these patients were blind in both eyes, completely dependent on family members for their daily care. Today, they have regained their sight and their independence. Our team saved the eye of a woman who had suffered a severe infection after a cataract surgery and restored vision to a young patient with Marfan syndrome who faced a lifetime of blindness. LAMAT physicians worked side by side with Guyanese surgeons, teaching advanced techniques, including the country's first ever lens replacement. The Guyanese doctors were then able to perform and master this and other procedures so they can help many more patients. These invaluable skills will remain long after our team departs, empowering your doctors to independently deliver world-class care to their own communities for years to come. In all, almost 3,000 patients received treatment during yet another successful LAMAT mission to Guyana. This year, the Ministry of Health also partnered with the Global Institute at the University of Miami's Miller School of Medicine to host a 4-day mass casualty management training workshop. The workshop strengthens Guyana's national capacity for coordinated multi-agency response by training participants from regional health departments, Port Health, Emergency Medical Services, the CDC, Discipline Services, and GPHC. They will all return to their respective agencies as trainers, multiplying the impact of this effort across the country. The U.S. commitment to our enduring health partnership with Guyana is a bond that has been forged over decades and will, without question, continue. Our direct collaboration with the Ministry of Health is a multi-agency effort, engaging the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Department of War, and NGOs. Together, we've combated infectious diseases like HIV/AIDS, advanced efforts to eradicate malaria, navigated the very complicated COVID-19 pandemic, and enhanced strategic health planning and disease surveillance. We are truly, truly honored to be your steadfast partner in all of this. In parallel, the U.S. private sector offers Guyana unmatched opportunities to advance its national healthcare and technological infrastructure. We are particularly proud of Guyana's distinguished partnerships with world-renowned institutions like Mount Sinai, and we have Dr. Corey Hancock here from Mount Sinai, Northwell Health, Harvard, University of Miami, of course, and Johns Hopkins, and we hope to do even more. The LAMAT 2026 mission stands as a testament to our trusted partnership. It's a direct reflection of the robust and productive collaboration between our governments, aimed squarely at fortifying Guyana's healthcare system. Today, we conclude a remarkably productive 2-week chapter that delivered exceptional medical services, facilitated meaningful engagements between our medical professionals, and deepened our bilateral relationship. I am confident future missions will build upon this success, and I will personally make sure that LAMAT continues to include Guyana on its itinerary. And I will admit my personal goal is to get you to Region 1 next year. I'll go with you. I'd like to sincerely thank President Ali, Minister Anthony, and the wonderful people of Guyana for hosting LAMAT and for being a steadfast, engaged partner that we can always count on. It really does mean the world to us. Thank you so much.
Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, Her Excellency, Ambassador Nicole Theriot, and your team from the embassy, Mr. Vince Torres, and your team from the University of Miami, the Miller School of Medicine, key members of the LAMAT team, and General Lee Swanson, and your team, who I had the opportunity to meet earlier, our own medical fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's another milestone achievement on this journey of U.S.-Guyana partnership. And I will tell you, General Swanson, last year I promised Major General Melissa Coburn that, and it's around the same time, the end of March into April, that the next LAMAT team comes here, we will do some military training. And we had a good discussion because I just came from the field. We had a 2-day combat competition, quarterly fitness competition, where we have soldiers navigate, rappel, swim, run, obstacle crossing, and shoot. But certainly for 2027, I'll prepare adequately. This collaboration, while its primary focus is at the Ministry of Health in our national medical field, the Guyana Defense Force is proud to be part of it. Last year, the numbers were, I believe, over 2,000 service hours of medical exercise, operations, and service given to the people of Guyana. But key also among that is for the Defense Force, we were able to train the trainers. And from last year to now, my force medical officers here, Dr. Natoya Frank, Louis Frank, we would have trained over 500 of our ranks from last year, the training received from the LAMAT team to today. I'm looking forward for this training to continue so that we can enhance our own capability. The strategic plus in partnership comes through events like this, where the interaction is not only in the expert field, but also you get to exchange culture, increase your network of friendship. and this what augurs well for both countries. I stand here proud to know that my ranks were involved in this exercise, in this itinerary of medical collaboration. And we certainly look forward for another year. Thank you all. I hope you enjoy your stay here, and thank you for your service. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is an honor to be here today to represent the Commander of Air Force Southern, Major General Mino, as we conclude this phase of the 2026 Lesser Antilles Medical Assistance Team mission here in Guyana. First, I'd like to recognize the distinguished leaders joining us today. His Excellency, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony, who disappeared somewhere. He's around. U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Terrio, thank you. And the Chief of Defense, Staff Brigadier Omar Khan. Sir, thank you for joining us as well. And all other distinguished mission members in attendance. And of course, to all the medical people. So thank you. Thank you all for your partnerships and for welcoming our teams into your communities throughout the mission. This year marks an important milestone for Guyana, 60 years of independence. During this time, Guyana has demonstrated incredible resilience, growth, and a strong commitment to the well-being of its people. The United States values its partnership with Guyana, and engagements like LAMAT reflect the strength of that relationship. Over the past 2 weeks, medical professionals from both of our countries worked side by side, sharing expertise, strengthening professional relationships, and forging true partnerships. The teams this year have had a tremendous impact. They conducted nearly 3,000 patient encounters across 26 specialties. They performed nearly 500 surgical and dental procedures, 600 emergency encounters, and dozens of mental health evaluations valued at nearly $500,000 US. The combined U.S. Guyanese biomedical equipment technician team repaired more than 130 critical medical devices, providing expertise valued at nearly $150,000 US, and enhancing emergency cardiac and dental care delivery. And while doing all of this, our military medics completed more than 5,500 specialty-specific readiness tasks, making sure that they are prepared to respond worldwide in crisis, conflict, and contingency. Those are great accomplishments that we were able to achieve by working side by side with each other, shoulder to shoulder. And I'd like to congratulate the teams on their great work. Although the U.S. teams are only in countries short term, the LAMAT mission is ongoing. This year marks the 3rd time the LAMAT mission has come to Guyana, and we hope this will continue in the future. LAMAT is a collaboration designed to build the partnerships, readiness, and interoperability that enable us to respond effectively to challenges together as we work to build a stronger, safer, and more prosperous Western Hemisphere. On behalf of Major General Mino and the leadership of U.S. Southern Command, thank you to the government of Guyana and all our partners for the opportunity to work alongside you. Thank you, sir.
America's more commission directors in 2027 and beyond. Captain.
Should be a fast bowler in there. No cricket? Our guys did a cool job on this one.